So welcome to this walkthrough for Sonnet 116. If you're a little bit confused by Shakespearean sonnets, that's totally fine. They are written in a really old-fashioned language, so I'm going to just try and explain it to you as quickly as I can so that you can just kind of understand it in a lot more detail. So Shakespeare writes a lot of sonnets. This is obviously number 116. Feel free to read other sonnets to get more of an idea how they work and kind of how they play off one another. It's worth noting that even though the portrayal of love in this poem is very idealistic, it's not the same in every poem. So we're going to come back to this task just as a sort of mini thing at the end of the video. For now, I'm just going to give you the summary. So he says, "Let me not to the marriage of true minds admit impediments," meaning if two minds are properly connected, then there are no barriers or obstructions to love. If you find your soulmate, if you find your person that you connect to, and you're connected by mind, like you're not just attracted to each other, but you're on the same level psychologically, then that is pure love. He says that love can't be called love if it alters when it alteration finds or bends with the remover to remove. So as soon as love changes and maybe one day you feel more love and the next day you don't, or a year from now you've forgotten who you're in love with. That's not true love. True love never changes and it doesn't go away, even if someone else is a threat to that relationship. The remover tries to remove it. He says no. It's an ever-fixed mark that looks on tempests and is never shaken, which I really love. So it's like basically this thing that exists up and above and beyond everything else, like all of the storms and chaos of life, and it looks down on them and it doesn't get shaken by it. It's the star to every wandering bark. So it's a star, like a light in the distance, and a wandering bark is a ship that's lost at sea. So there's this feeling that if you're a ship and you're lost in the sea of life, you can be guided by love. If you think about love and what you love and who you love, that is going to put you on the right path in life. And then he has all these other series of different things to do with the quality of love, how you can't really measure it in the right way. Like, it doesn't have a specific value, but it does have a height. It's lofty. It sits above everything else in your life. It's kind of up in the heavens, we might think of, similar to that star image. And also it has a really interesting relationship to time. So even though time is something that devours all things and it seems to be a powerful presence in the world, love is something that beats time. Love is not time's fool. And rosy lips and cheeks get ruined by time because, your beauty fades over time. But love, proper love, true love, is not about beauty or physical attraction, and therefore it does not change with time's passing. It stays with you until the edge of doom, so that you'd be having the worst day ever, the worst life ever, and you still feel this powerful feeling of love. He says, if this is wrong and someone proves this, then I am not Shakespeare, I'm not a writer, and nobody ever felt love. So he has this extremely strong, powerfully compelling argument, which is championing the idealism of love, this idea of love as perfect, as existing outside of the material world, as existing as this guiding light in the distance that is something that you look towards. It's sort of like a Disneyfied version of love, like how love is in a fairy tale, that kind of love. Like I say, his other sonnets are not this confident on love, so when you're analysing this poem, don't just think this is the only thing Shakespeare thinks about love. He has a very varying, multifaceted perspective on it. But yeah, this is what this particular poem is presenting as a perspective on love, and it is very powerful, I think, and very compelling as an argument. So I'm going to leave you with a task. If you like this document and you want to download it as a revision guide, we'll also put a link to that in the comments below, because this is from our Scribbly revision guides, which we make for different sort of courses that we have for English on there, including things like the Edexcel IGCSE anthology. So yeah, check all that out if you feel like it'd be useful for you. feel free to sort of just pause and write down this task, or write down your thoughts to this task about your ideas on love, and yeah, hopefully you feel like you understood that and you've got a good summary or good grasp of what's going on in this poem. So yeah, thank you very much for listening, and see you guys soon in a future lesson. Bye for now.